Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on my channel. And as promised, like I said, I will be making the extra videos. So before I forget, sprinkler schedule, because it's very similar to the water schedule app, it's just available straight away on my site, on my shop, as it's just the timings and everything. Okay, so that one you can just download, and it's pretty much exactly the same as a water scheduler. The difference being that the boost buttons are for 5 minutes, 10 minutes and 15 minutes instead of the 30, 45 or 50 odd minutes. Okay, and that's it. All right, so that's the sprinkler scheduler. The other one that we're going to be talking about today is the temperature alert app. So again, this was a request come through from a client asking about temperature alerts, and when a temperature goes above a certain level, to get a notification, and then of course when it drops down it gets a notification. So how does this work? Well, first things first, we're going to start off as usual with the variables. So right now this is switched off, as can be seen with the red icon. Click on variables. First things first is user ID. So if you are the master user, you will have a user ID of 2. So that's standard, the super admin user. Okay. However, if you are not the super admin, or you want somebody else to have the ID to receive those notifications, then you need to input their ID over there. And to do that, you click on access, and here when you create a secondary, third user, etc., their ID would display here. So right now I've only got one ID, that's me, so with an ID 2. So if you added another user, they'll have their own ID, and you just copy that number instead. All right, so let's go back to here. Now that's that. Second part, sensor. Of course, you need the ID of the temperature sensor. So what I've done is I've got my temperature sensor here, ID number 38, and I've inputted it in the sensor. Then you create your minimum and maximum temperatures. Okay, so that one, you can just use these buttons to increase or decrease the minimum, maximum, so you don't need to do anything. All right. Next is minimum and maximum alerts. So you don't really need to input anything else here at all. All right. So only thing you input is user ID, sensor, and minimum temperatures. Okay. Leave the rest alone. We can now enable if we enable this, it will start working, and it will then, let me just increase that to 20 and reduce that to 10. So when you've inputted it, it'll tell you the name of the sensor. So we've called it temp, so that's why it's named temp here. The user is called Yorkshire, and that's why the username appears there. I've set the minimum temperature to 10 and the maximum to 20, and I'm going to enable this now. So that is now enabled. What happens is this is now starting to monitor temperatures. Okay, so I'm just going to enable my phone, and I'm just going to enable the volume, as I have got my Fibaro alerts as also a sound alert. Okay, now because this is my test box, I don't actually have any actual sensors on here, but I have created a virtual temp sensor which I can adjust manually. So the way this works is current temperature is 15 degrees. All right, and so what will happen is when this temperature goes below 10, I will get a notification to say the temperature is below 10. It will only come once, and that's it. It will not keep repeating itself every second, every minute, etc. All right, it will just appear once, and that's it. when the temperature then cycles above my max temp, it will then send me the alert for the max. And again, I'll only get that alert once, not multiple times. You don't really want to be bombarded with multiple alerts with the same message. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to now increase this temperature to above 20. So now when this does its check,
notification from UB. It says push HC3 minus 000154883. Max temp reached.
As you can hear there, we've now reached the maximum temperature, and that's it. It's now going to monitor and carry on monitoring. So if I remember correctly, I've set this to run every minute rather than every second, as we don't, 60 seconds doesn't make a difference here or there in this scenario. So now what I'm going to do, as we're talking, we're not going to get another notification. To make sure of that, if you look in the variables, you'll see here that the max alert variable has now changed to yes. It just means that the notification has been sent and we're not going to carry on sending it. So if I go back to temperature, and I'm going to drop this down to below 10. So now we'll wait again, and because I've set my temp here.
Notification from UB. It says push HC3 minus 000154883. Min temp reached.
So now if you go to variables, you will see that the max alert goes to no, and min alert has gone to net yes, to tell us that the notification has been sent, and we're now going to wait for the next alert. So we're not going to be bombarded with minimum alerts. And literally that's it. So if you want to switch the whole thing off, we just turn it off here. Now there's one thing I have done. When we switch this back on, it actually resets these variables back to no and no, which means
notification from UB. It says push HC3 minus 000154883. Min temp reached.
So the reason why it resets it is just in case that if the temperature was below our minimum temperature, at least you'll get that notification. You don't have to wait until it goes to above before going back to below. All right, or vice versa. So that's really it. So this was a request. You can, again, as I said before, you can install this as many times as you like, and you can just keep inputting it with the different user sensor IDs, and if you want, user IDs and different temperature sensing. Okay. As usual, thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more of these videos, definitely hit the like, and if you want, hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, please definitely give it a thumbs up. Until next time, until our next video, see you soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.